This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 523. Here is the ultimate method to reverse lifestyle inflation and regain control of your life. Part 2, by Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. And I'm your host and narrator, Dan. I'm here each weekday reading to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And I'm going to keep this intro nice and short for you today, but just a heads up, this is a continuation from yesterday. So if you're new here or jumping around a bit, it'd be best to listen to yesterday's episode first. That would be episode 522. But if you are all caught up, let's get right to part 2 from Chris Reining and continue optimizing your life. Here is the ultimate method to reverse lifestyle inflation and regain control of your money. Part 2, by Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. Tactics to control everyday spending continued. Create awareness. The Everyday Dollar Diaries is a popular series where readers keep a daily spending journal for 1 week, and I publish the results anonymously. The point of the exercise is to bring an awareness to how we all spend our money. Make it a habit to track what you spend, either through a diary or a tool like Mint or YNAB. You can use the information to help change your behavior so you're spending money in alignment with your goals. Do the math. As I mentioned earlier, if people did the math, they'd figure out that buying a house isn't the best financial decision. While doing the math is so important for big stuff, like buying a house, it's equally important for smaller stuff too. My morning routine is the same every day. I brew coffee, make a smoothie, and pop a multivitamin. I was running low on vitamins recently, so I logged on to Amazon to buy more and found a bunch of different quantity options. What's the cheapest option per tablet? I did the math to figure it out. The 150 2-pack. It's important to note we shouldn't make decisions solely on math, but it's one aspect we need to weigh among others when we make decisions. Pay up when it matters. Do the math, but don't be this guy. Quote, where are some places I can stay in NYC from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m.? I'm going to have an interview in NYC at 10 a.m. I decide to take a bus from Boston at 6 p.m. and arrive in NYC at 1 a.m. And then I will hang around in the city and do not sleep until the interview. Of course, I will sleep at Boston in the afternoon before. Is there any place in NYC from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. where I can stay and read and use a computer to work for free? End quote. Do you think he'll get the job? Sometimes not skimping makes sense, like flying business class if it means you can sleep 6 hours, land, and get to a job interview refreshed and on top of your game. And this is the one I still struggle with, but I'm getting better. 3. Shift your mindset. Scientific evidence shows that taking action changes your mindset. Like if you put a pencil between your teeth to force a smile, you'll become happier. Or if you stand with your legs apart, you'll gain confidence. First, we change our actions, then we can change our mindset. There's a picture on this post of an Audi R8 that retails for $116,000. The owner of this car wrote about his experience buying it. It's fascinating because he perfectly describes lifestyle inflation. Quote, another piece of advice for anyone looking to get a supercar is to work your way up slowly so you get more and more comfortable with the higher car payments. I went from an M3 to 911, now to V10 R8 in the last 2 to 3 years, and the 4-figure R8 payment isn't hard to swallow since I've been used to making similar payments on the 911. End quote. See that? Similar to how I worked up to going out for lunch every day, lifestyle inflation becomes the new normal. I could walk into an Audi dealership today with a metal briefcase full of cash. That'd be awesome, and buy an R8. But I can't justify paying $116,000 for a car because it's a piece of metal that gets me from point A to point B. My 10-year-old BMW can do that, but I saved $100,000. Here's the mindset shift part. Based on a 4% safe withdrawal rate, the $100,000 I saved earns me an inflation-adjusted $4,000 every year for the rest of my life. That means I don't have to spend my time working to make $4,000 because my money is out there earning for me. And sometimes in a single day, my portfolio earns me more than enough to live for a year. That's the freedom I was after. When you look at every decision you make and align them to your financial goals, you'll build real wealth over the long term. And this puts you in control of your life, not some job or anything else outside your control. Final note. People spend $132,000 to take an around-the-world trip, $179 million to hang a Picasso on their wall, and in one of my favorite Reddit threads of all time, waste money on all kinds of weird stuff, like wearing a new pair of socks every day, $150 a month on watering the lawn, and $200 a month on Lego bricks. Everything you do, including how you spend money, comes with an opportunity cost. That means you take away from something else, whether directly or indirectly. Like when people say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. That means you gain the value of the lunch, but lose an hour of your time. For fun, I used to spend $1,000 a month flying airplanes. I'd like to be able to tell the girls at the bar I was a pilot. Eventually, I discovered the ones who cared weren't the ones I should be dating. But at the time, I didn't understand the opportunity cost of my hobby. As I reversed my lifestyle inflation and began aligning my decisions with my goal of freedom, I quit flying. Spending is all about balancing opportunity costs, and it will be different for everyone based on what you value. It takes time to master, but once it becomes automatic, freedom will be yours. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, "Here is the Ultimate Method to Reverse Lifestyle Inflation and Regain Control of Your Money" by Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. And I'm going to keep this ending nice and short for you today, but before we go, it would be great if you could come by oldpodcast.com/support to check out some of the different ways that you can help us here at the show. Most ways you can support us are totally free, like sharing the podcast with a friend, writing a rating and review, and more. And we'd really appreciate it. Again, that link is oldpodcast.com/support. That's it for today. Thank you as always for being here and being a subscriber, and I'll see you in the Thursday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.